In this section, we'll be going over our flexibility positions, and this is one of the key areas that you must have in order to do your skills correctly. Tumbling is about being able to bend your body into the correct position and being strong enough to do that. Without flexibility and strength, we cannot do our tumble rules correctly. So there are 4 different body positions that we need to cover the flexibility we need to do our skills correctly. Number 1 is your pike. Number 2 is your straddle. Number 3 is your bridge position. And number 4 are your splits. We need left, right, and center. So it's not good enough to have just one split, because in a cartwheel, if you start with your right leg, you're kicking your left leg up. That's a right leg split. As you turn, your legs are going into a center split position. And then when you step down with the opposite leg, your left leg, now you're stepping down, you're in a left split position. If your legs are not flexible enough to get to that split position and stay straight, they're gonna bend. And that's gonna create problems. It's gonna lessen the power you can create. Plus it doesn't look very good. With the pike, we need to make sure that we are squeezing the legs together. We gotta make sure that the legs are together, not apart, in your pike position. With our pike position, we have what I call pike number 1, which is being able to get your elbows on the ground and your head on your knees. And then there's pike number 2, where you can get your back flat, your stomach on your legs, and your chin on your shin. With your straddle, we wanna at least be able to get our head down in this straddle position. Head down. And then what I call straddle number 2 is where you can reach for it and get your stomach flat on the ground, also commonly called a pancake position. Now, as you're in your straddle and reaching left and right, you're actually stretching your hamstrings, but those are good stretches for your hips also. So make sure you work those. Then with our bridge position, you want to be able to get your arms and your legs straight and get your shoulders over your hands. That's bridge number 1. It is really hard to do any bridge skills unless you have bridge number 1 position. If you have enough, say for a kickover, if you have enough power in your kick and your jump, you might not get all the way to bridge number 1, but have enough strength to be able to kick and push your body over. But that's always going to be a limitation in your ability to reach correctly if you're not at bridge number 1. So we at the very least need to be at bridge number 1. We really need bridge number 2. Especially for front walkovers and even back handsprings. We've got to be able to get those shoulders behind the hands for front walkovers to hold the body up. And for back handsprings so that we can push with the arms and push the body backwards, because it is going backwards, it's a back handspring. So let's work in this section, work on the exercises to work on your hamstring flexibility, the muscles in the back of the legs, the pikes, and work on the straddle position. Try to get it all the way down into straddle number 2. Work your bridge stretches and also work those split positions. Make sure that with flexibility that you work it every single day. Some days you may just be stretching very easily just to maintain your flexibility. On days when your muscles feel nice and warm and stretchy, then we can push the stretch on those days and get a little more flexibility out of it. Just remember, you can't push hard every single day. It's just like you can't do the same exercise, muscle exercise every day. You get sore and you got to let your muscles recover. If you do a hard stretch, you need to give your muscles a day or 2 to recover from that. Just do light stretching after that. So we have exercises on here that are light stretches, and we got exercises on here that push it a little bit more. Basically, you do that by doing either more time to stretch it more, or just do it less time, like 30 seconds, just to maintain your flexibility and not push it too hard. So if you want to have good tumble skills, you've got to get your body prepared to do the positions it needs to do your skills correctly. This also helps to eliminate injuries from overkicking and overstretching the muscle while you're kicking very hard with force. If you've got a limitation on that and kick beyond that limitation with a lot of power, you're going to pull a muscle. So we got to protect our muscles with good flexibility. So let's get to work and get it done.